Are you a fan of thick cut crispy bacon, but it gives you a few challenges because sometimes it wants to burn in places before the fat's totally rendered and nice and crispy? Well, I have got the solution. This technique is amazing. Welcome to the Salted Pepper, where we cook for real life using real food and we keep it real simple. Today's recipe is for bacon, and I think so many of us love bacon. Now, I am going to start this video right off by telling you that this is designed specifically, this method, this cooking technique, I should say, is designed specifically for the Ninja Foodi Steam and Crisp models. That means the one with the smart lid that has the steam and crisp function. Now, if you have the Ninja Speedi, you can do the same thing, but I'm using the 6.5 quart. The 8 quart will work just fine, but you do need to have the steam crisp function, okay? Sorry guys, I did not test this out in the 2-lid model, and I'll tell you why. Because honestly, you can air fry your bacon and it's delicious in the Ninja Foodi using the crisping lid only. There is something special about the steam and crisp though, but it's probably not worth the hassle of switching the lids. So I didn't even go down that road. So this one is a specific video just for the Smart Lid series of Ninja Foodi. All right, so we're gonna start out with the rack in the low position. Now you can use the basket or the tray, okay, because I think the tray comes with the 6.5, the crisping tray comes with the 6.5 quart of the Smart Lid models. You can absolutely use that, that's no problem. I'm just using my rack from a different model, and I like to do it on the rack. I can fit a little bit more. But as I show you how I'm going to make the bacon, I will also let you know how you can do much more volume of bacon in the basket if you don't mind it being a little like curly, okay? I like my bacon really flat, so I do it this way. 1/2 cup of water. Just pour that right in. And what I found is I can fit about 5 to 6 pieces of bacon. Now this is thick cut applewood smoked bacon. It does not make any difference if you get hickory smoked or anything like that. That makes no difference. But the thick cut versus a thin cut bacon does make a difference in your timing, okay? So I'll go over that in just a second. Let me go ahead and get this in and started. So what I do is lay the bacon on the rack. It doesn't really matter if it's kind of like bunched up a little bit. As it shrinks up and cooks, it straightens out, but try to get it as flat as you can. And lay them next to each other. They can be very close, but you really don't want them overlapping too much, okay? All right, so once they're all in, and I'm gonna be really honest with you, I did it with my tongs because it looks better for you guys on camera, but it is so much easier to just grab them with your hands and arrange them. So do that and then wash your hands and move on to the next step. Okay, now we're gonna close the crisping lid here and take the slider to the middle position. Turn your Ninja Foodi on. That's gonna give you the 2 options, steam crisp and steam bake. And we're gonna do steam crisp. You wanna take your temperature to 375 degrees. And our time is gonna be 12 minutes. Now it does not matter where your valve is. You can have it vented, you can have it sealed. The vents for steam and crisp are in the lid itself, so this does not make any difference. Hit start. Now what's gonna happen is the water in the bottom's going to heat up. It takes about 5 minutes to heat up, and then we will switch over to the upper heating element. The fan will engage, and you'll start to see a whole bunch of steam come out. That lasts for somewhere between 5 to 10 minutes, okay? It depends, usually about 7 minutes or so. Then you can open up the lid to check on your bacon, but you don't have to. If you like really crispy, well-rendered, thick-cut bacon, go 11 or 12 minutes, okay? 12 minutes is where my perfect bacon has always come from. I love that timing. But you might like yours a little bit less done, because mine is like, I don't know, 2 breaths away from being burnt, but it is so crispy. I just love it. So use your judgment on when you stop the function, but don't open the lid for the first 7 minutes, okay? You'll let all the steam out and we'll undo the steam and crisp, basically. So just leave it alone for at least 7 minutes, so when the countdown starts, When it gets to 4 minutes, you can start opening up the lid. You do not need to flip the bacon. And I know I'm such a flipper with my food that this is kind of one of those things that I just walk away from, literally. It doesn't even matter if you let it go and let it sit in the pot, because it's just going to continue to crisp up even after the pot's off. It's just beautiful. So now, if you wanted to use thin cut bacon, your timing would be a little bit different. And depending on the type of bacon, you may even find that you like to go down on your temperature to 350. But I would start at 375 the first time you try it. And I would set the clock for about 10 minutes. And I would check on it after 7 minutes, okay? And see how it's going. It's going to cook a little bit faster. So, again, just check on it and see how it's going. And some people like their bacon not as crispy. If you don't like it as crispy, then 7 minutes might be absolutely perfect for you. I can start to see the steam slowing down, so we're using up all the water in the bottom. So the steam isn't as big of a deal now. So I thought, let's take a peek, even though I don't usually do this. I leave the lid closed until it's done, but I thought you might want to see what it looks like at about 9 minutes in. That looks so amazing. Now, this would probably be perfectly cooked for a lot of people. It is not done for me because, like I have said, I like super crispy bacon. So we're gonna keep on going. You'll probably laugh when I take it out because you're gonna be like, oh, that is like 2 breaths away from being burnt. And it is, it definitely is. But that's the way I like my bacon. All right, we are all done. So we can open this up. Now, one thing is, it looks amazing, but you know what? Because I opened it mid-cycle, it could actually go another minute for me. And the reason why I say that is because what I'm using this bacon for is a new recipe of mine, and it needs to be super, super crunchy because it gets added in to this chicken mixture for a chicken bacon ranch slider. Oh my gosh, they're amazing. So normally the 12 minutes is perfectly fine, but I opened the lid, I let some heat out, and that changed it. And I think it's a perfect opportunity for me to let you guys know how to reset the function, because you don't go back on steam and crisp. You don't want to now introduce steam or a moist cooking environment to your almost perfect bacon. So what you would do if you find after the 12 minutes that you need a little bit more time and you didn't catch it, during the cycle to add some time, you will just go to straight air fry. So slide your slider over, switch your function to air fry, which it defaults to, take your temperature back to 375, and then put however long you want on the clock. I can imagine this is not gonna take but a minute or two, so I'll just put 3 minutes on there, and then let it finish cooking up. All right, I let it go the whole 3 extra minutes, and it looks really good. Now keep in mind, bacon, as it cools, gets crispier, okay? But this looks good, like there's no like wiggle or wobble like it earlier when I showed it to you. So this is going to be nice and crispy. Now I'm gonna lay it on some paper towels and kind of blot it dry, blot that fat off, which helps also crisp it up. And what I usually do is just roll it. Blot it a little bit, and then open it up. All right, while this cools, and once it's nice and cool and crispy, I'll give it a taste. Let me talk about how to do more volume. Now, there are some amazing people in my Facebook group, and they have amazing ways of doing bacon. Some will drape it all over the rack so that they can do like a pound at a time. That would involve having the rack in the high position and then using the grates, or if you will, of the wires of the rack as their little holders for their bacon. I've seen that. But the easiest way to do it, if you don't care about it being flat like this, is to use a crisping basket or the crisping tray and pile it on there, okay? The only difference is you will need to increase your time. You can still do steam and crisp. I think it works great. I did try it the other day. You will have to increase your time. So I would set the steam and crisp for about 20 minutes And you have to go in and manually toss it around so that all the different pieces of bacon get rendered and crispy. But it does work for, an entire pound of bacon. You can put it in there. The thick cut. Now, thin cut, you could also do all of this the same. But like I said in the beginning of the video, you want to definitely take your time down, or at least open up the lid after that 7 minutes has gone by and check on it. Very, very important. Now for the best part. Yes, that is what I'm talking about. Oh my. Wow. This bacon is so incredible. Somehow the steam and crisp does something magical to it. I don't know what it is. All right. Now, Jeff has never had this bacon. So I'm going to give him a piece and we're going to find out. He loves bacon. Bacon is probably his favorite food group. And he loves crispy bacon, and he always makes it in the Ninja Foodi indoor grill. He thought it was very weird that I was going to do steam and crisp to make this bacon. He's like, why would you steam bacon? That kind of thing, which I totally understand that thought process. I just did it on a whim and fell in love with it. So let me give him a piece and we'll hear from him how he likes it. All right, Jeff, your first try of steam and crisp bacon. Now be on, see?
What?
See how crispy it is?
Perfect. I'm keeping this.
Isn't that amazing? Mm-hmm. It's one of those things when he bit it, I could tell it just broke apart in the crispiest way. Talk about wonderful bacon for BLT sandwiches. Oh my gosh, this is it. So if you have the Smart Lid Ninja Foodi, definitely give steam and crisp a try, or give it a try in the Ninja Speedi.